120 gas pumps, 53,000 square foot store, branded merchandise for days, a fanatical following. We're going to find out what it's all about right now.
Alright, as you can see, we've made a little bit of a pit stop and stopped by the brand new Buc-ee's that's in Richmond, Kentucky. So this is actually the first Buc-ee's that's actually in Kentucky, and it's opened about 2 months ago. So it's beginning of September, and this is open like at the beginning of July or so. Either way, here we take a stop, check out what they have, see what the fuss is all about. So this place is basically like the Walmart of gas stations. I mean, it is huge. So the convenience store is, well, effectively like a Walmart. It's a big shopping center, and they have all kinds of Buc-ee's branded stuff, and apparently really good food. And I mean, this place actually, it's based out of Texas. They have quite a few locations, and it basically has a cult following. So it's pretty crazy. Apparently they already got Halloween branded gear out. It's like I said, they have Buc-ee's everything. Pecans, almonds. Those look good. So here is actually your normal gas station side, which I would say looks like a reasonably standard gas station. Then you'll come over here, and you've got all these Buc-ee's goodness. So yogurt pretzels, popcorn. Fruit. Dried mangoes. They basically got everything you could ever imagine in a Buc-ee's brand. So you got fudge, dark chocolate. Heck, you could even apparently get okra and canned jalapenos, pickled eggs. It's almost like a country store. Candy. Espresso beans, trail mix. Buc-ee's Nuggies. It's pretty crazy. Cotton candy. You want lemon crisps. Looks like they're cookies. Beaver Nuggets. I hear this is quite the thing. They got cinnamon sweet Beaver Nuggets. You got regular Beaver Nuggets. Sea salted caramel Beaver Nuggets. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some of these. Heck, they've even got their own hot sauce. Carolina Reaper, 7 Primo hot pepper, Scorpion pepper, Taco Reaper, sweet and spicy ghost pepper, peach habanero. Yeah, I'm a hot sauce buff, so I might have to get some of these too. And then they've also got other hot sauces as well. What about chips as your fancy, or pork rinds? Got different flavored pork rinds. Yes, they've literally got everything. Heck, they've even got honey butter. a nut wall of all different nuts that you can buy. And then here's something I've heard about. It's a big old wall of jerky. So it's all Buc-ee's jerky. They got tons of flavors of jerky. Pre-packaged for you. And I think you can actually buy some that's more fresh too, like at a counter. It's pretty crazy. If you want Buc-ee's coffee, they've all got their own house blended coffee. We got a whole wall of gummies. These are good. No, ICEEs are your thing. ICEEs are definitely my thing. They've even got their own Buc-ee's flavors of ICEEs. So you got like watermelon, cherry limeade, pina colada. That's pretty wild. Blue raspberry. So they have a huge selection of coffee. One cool thing is here, our coffee station to get all your condiments that go with it, like your creamers and stuff like that. They have a ton of creamers to select from, which is pretty cool. I mean, this place is just huge. These are all Coke machines. They've got some, looks like it's some sippy cups, and there's a Buc-ee. You go over here, and you got all sorts of foods. And this place really is pretty huge for a gas station convenience store. So you got sandwiches that they make, and sliced fruit. It's like pimento cheese, potato salad, wraps, salads. I mean, anything you want. Pretty cool. All right, this is where the magic happens. Making all these brisket sandwiches fresh. That we're gonna have to eat here in a little bit. I mean, they look awesome. I mean, look, you can already tell the bark on here. You see the smoke rings. Wow. So here they are preparing these brisket sandwiches, fresh for everybody. All right, breaking out that fresh brisket. I mean, just look at it. Trimming it up. Oh yeah. I mean, that would feed me for like, several days easily. That looks phenomenal. Apparently they make an announcement whenever they've got something on the board. Either they're cutting a brisket, bringing the brisket out, or saucing the brisket, or the meats. So that's intriguing. Kind of caught me off guard initially. That's awesome. So here's the lineup. You got like a Buc-ee's Club Melt, or you can get you a fried chicken sandwich, apple pie. Here's all these brisket sandwiches that they're prepping up. Beaver chips, which looks like it's like kettle chips. Chopped brisket sandwiches. Oh, so you can get chopped or sliced. I thought it was just sliced originally. So that's kind of cool. I'm a sliced guy myself, so that's probably what we're gonna go with. And you got sausage on a stick, sliced turkey sandwiches. Oh man, that looks good too. Pulled pork sandwiches. Looks like they're making some pulled pork over there. Man, it all looks good. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to eat all of it. I can only eat so much, but this looks awesome. It's like these are all the burritos that you can get. So you got like a cheesesteak burrito, meat and bean, veggie, chicken pita, taco, fixed cheesesteak. Man. Here it is. Here's where you can actually get all your jerkies fresh. So you can buy it by the pound, whatever you want. Sweet and spicy. You got Hill Country, mesquite pepper. I mean, or you can get sausages. I mean, if you like jerky or giant sausages, I mean, this is awesome. Well, they got the sausages prepackaged as well that you can buy. It's really amazing all the stuff that they truly have. Chicken stuffed with dirty rice. I mean, it really is like going to Walmart. So I didn't notice that. So on the other side of all the meats, they got like, you know, where they do all their fudge and stuff like that. So you can buy your buy fudge here too. They make it here in the store. Of course, looking at all this fudge makes me want to, you know, eat fudge, obviously. Look at all that. Oh yeah. There you go. All this fudge goodness. Working on some new fudge, it looks like. Yeah. Heck yeah. That's great. There we go. Picking these candy pecans. Alright. Then once you get past all the food, they have more like, you know, just normal wares that you can buy. So it's like shopping in a regular store. It's pretty wild. Signs. And they have clothing. I mean, t-shirts. This is like your kids section, obviously. Looks like little girls, actually. But I mean, you know, they have everything you could think of. Jewelry, coolers, and of course, you gotta have Buc-ee's branded shirts, right? So these are actually special to the Kentucky store. You might have to scoop up one of these, but you got like, you know, almost like a postcard or a letter. Pretty cool. Got little kid shirts. This is like a horse and jockey. That's pretty cool. Get you a bobblehead. Tumblers. I mean, they've taken like branding almost to a whole nother level. They've got everything Buc-ee's. Party favors. All Buc-ee's branded. More shirts that you can buy. Sweatshirts. There you got a nice old truck in here. It's got some balls and baseballs and little footballs. Fleece blankets. I mean, hats. More shirts. I mean, it's just insane the amount of stuff that they have that's all branded. Fleece jackets. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. All Buc-ee's branded stuff. You want you Buc-ee's, you know, sleep pants? They got you covered. This is wild. There's even a massive plush Buc-ee on the back of the truck. How adorable. Or if you need to take your own plush Buc-ee home, you can do that too. Plenty for you to take home. They've got other stuff that's obviously not Buc-ee's branded, so they got toys for kids that you can get. I mean, it really is pretty much just like Walmart for, you know, Buc-ee's branded stuff. I mean, there you go, you got all the coolers that you can get. It's like their version of like a Yeti cooler. We got other options. I mean, you want hunting gear? They got that here too. So, I mean, I think they even sell sunglasses. Yeah, I see like a little cabinet with Oakleys in there. So you can buy your Oakleys, sun hats. I mean, yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much a quick tour of the whole store. So apparently, if you order food, you have to do it on these little kiosks.
I don't see no hot dogs on there.
And you can just order what you want.
Oh, build your own hot dog.
So you can build your own hot dog. And you get your options. So jalapenos, chili, cheese, onions, or dill relish. Here's your price over here. And there's our haul. I'm gonna take all this and give it a try. Alright, well, since Buc-ee's is a convenience store, not a restaurant, there was no place to eat inside, so I had to eat in a truck. So we're going to get our brisket on in a truck because that's the options we got. I gotta say though, I'm quite excited. I mean, but you can see all that. You see a sandwich, focus, yeah, that brisket in there. You see all the sauce, brioche bun, yeah, good stuff. All right, taste test, see how it goes. It's got a fair amount of sauce on there. You know, it's pretty sweet. The meat's, you know, I wouldn't say it's the most tender brisket that I've had, but, you know, it's got a little bit of chew to it. It's got really good flavor, though. The sauce, you know, complements it well. It's pretty tangy sauce, though. So if you like, you know, kind of sweeter, tangier sauces, you know, this is nice barbecue sauce for it. You can see more of that meat as we get in there. Yeah, it's pretty good. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've got a little partner in crime with me. You can see, it's my dog, Schnauzer. Her name is Arwen. So she's on this little road trip. We're actually heading down to Pigeon Forge, so we figured we'd stop here on the way. So I'm going down there to film a car show. But either way, so we're still working on this brisket sandwich, and as you know, the more you get into it, I mean, it definitely got a lot more tender. So originally I said it was a little bit chewy. It's definitely not chewy now. I mean, it, you know, I would say it's pretty much as advertised. I mean, it's really, really solid. I mean, you would not know this is convenience store food. It's not your typical convenience store food, I'll say that. But I mean, it's really tasty. So yeah, all in all, it's $8 for a brisket sandwich. I mean, it's no question. It's worth it. It's awesome. If you ever go to Buc-ee's and you're into barbecue, specifically brisket, get you one. It's awesome. It's, yeah, awesome. I'll continue the food review a little bit later. Once we get down to the hotel, we'll finish off sampling more of those foods and getting into them. Well, all right. We are settled back in a hotel room now in Pigeon Forge. So let's see some of the goodies that we got from Buc-ee's. All right. So, of course, as I showed you, I had to do the Beaver Nuggets. This is apparently like a popular thing that everybody says to try, so we're going to try it. Let's see what else we can snag over here. So we've also got sea salted caramel Beaver Nuggets. Of course, I noticed these are in much smaller packaging. I didn't see any big packages of those. And then we've got cinnamon sweet Beaver Nuggets. And in addition to that, got something that they call a peanut patty, which is interesting because it's pink. It's probably hard to tell in this lighting because of the yellow lighting. But, you know, I think it's like peanut brittle, probably. But I don't know. It looked interesting, so I grabbed it. We'll try it. And then we've got a pecan fudge brownie. Because, I mean, who doesn't like brownies? I love brownies. But here's probably a better image of the actual brownie itself. So let's go ahead and dig into some of this. All right, first up, Beaver Nuggets. So these actually come in 13 ounces, 13-ounce bags. So it's a pretty good size. From other people that have done vlogs, I kind of have an impression, I guess, of what they might taste like. We'll see how accurate those representations were, or at least, you know, how they fared the way I perceive it. All right, so they just look like corn puffs for the most part, and they look like they're maybe coated in a little bit of something. So let's give it a go. But here you go. Here's one of them. It's a good size, you know. Okay, they're definitely corn puffs. Pretty good. And it's got a little bit of the caramel on the outside is what it tastes like. It's definitely distinct. You know, they're not overly sweet though. You know, I heard them compared to Cracker Jacks. I don't know that I would, you know, Cracker Jacks is like caramel corn. I don't know that I feel like they taste like Cracker Jacks, but, you know, they're kind of similar. They're pretty good though. I can definitely see why they're popular. They're, I don't think they're overly sweet, but they kind of, you know, they kind of fit into like the caramel popcorn, you know, or that you can get in the tin cans. Like it's kind of in that category. To me, that's light, you know, because it's not like super heavy, easy to eat. You know, I could probably down quite a bit of these, or quite a few of them quickly. Like this whole bag probably won't last me more than a few days. I'm going to venture a guess. So, all in all, it's worth a try, for sure. Man, I'll be honest, once you start eating them, you kind of can't stop. They're kind of addicting. Now let's move on to my impulse buy at the cash register, which is pecan brownie. And we'll see what that tastes like. Looks pretty tasty. So you could see like the brownies when I was doing the Beaver while I was checking out actually. And they had like Rice Krispie treats, and then these brownies were underneath the Rice Krispie treats. You know, conveniently there, so you can admire them and then decide that, hey, I want one too. So their marketing worked on me, evidently. All right, so, you know, on visual inspection with the wrapper off, you can kind of see, you know, looks like your everyday brownie, I'd say. You know, looks like a decent consistency, a little bit dense, you would expect. You see the pecans on top. Let's give it a whirl. That's a solid brownie. It's pretty rich. I wouldn't say it's like overly rich, but, you know, it's definitely got a nice chocolatey texture, you know, and it's got really good flavoring. Again, you know, if you like brownies, you know, you might give these a go. I think there's like $2.50 or something like that. So, I mean, you know, they're fairly cheap. It's worth trying it. You know, it's pretty good. All right, so we're back at Buc-ee's for round 2. So on the way back, we decided, yeah, well, we might as well stop because the gas is cheap, and hey, you know, there's more stuff to try as far as good eats go. So I did get a brisket sandwich again, but I'm also got a barbecue turkey sandwich. So we're going to try the barbecue turkey sandwich and see how that is. I mean, honestly, if it's anything like the brisket sandwich, we're in business because it's going to be good. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, again, it's on a brioche bun, And it's sliced, I mean, it's sliced turkey with barbecue sauce. So, I mean, you can see that. Oh, yeah. So far, we're off to a good start. So I got that same sauce that they've got on the brisket is on the turkey. So it's pretty tangy, you know, decently sweet. Yeah. So you can see the inside of that turkey. It's pretty tender. You get on the edges, you know, it's a little bit chewier, which is to be expected. But once you get towards the center, I mean, it's pretty tender. So, I mean, I feel at this point, like you can hardly, I mean, you can't lose regardless of what you pick at the Buc-ee's to eat. It's probably going to be decent. So, you know, maybe we'll try experimenting with some more foods as time goes on, and, you know, I'll share those with you as I try them. Yeah, I feel like this is just like the brisket sandwich. The more you get into the sandwich, the better it gets. Probably because you're getting into the middle of the turkey cuts. So in the middle is always going to be a little bit more moist than the outside, generally speaking. You know, where you kind of got your burnt ends. But I mean, you can see where it's got, you know, it's got that darker edge on it. So it's got sort of like a bark, but it's pretty tasty. Yeah, solid sandwich. Can't go wrong. You like brisket, you like turkey, you like pulled pork. Granted, I haven't had the pulled pork, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's probably all right too. So try whatever suits you. And, you know, I think you'll probably like it. It's definitely not like average convenience store food that you get at the gas station for sure. And honestly, I think that their food could compete with a lot of the different restaurants that I've been to. Like, the brisket's better than, you know, some restaurants that I've been in. Maybe not all, but some. You know, same with the turkey, you know, because usually some places that have got real dry turkey, it's overcooked. That's no good. This is not. This is excellent. So another thing to note is if you come to Buc-ee's on the weekend, it is way more packed than it is during the week. So when we came on Wednesday during the week, I mean, it was busy, but not nearly as busy it is today. Like today, it's like almost every single gas stall is full and occupied with somebody. I mean, the convenience store is completely packed. I mean, it's like you're in Walmart, well, on a Saturday. It's similar. So, I mean, just be aware. I mean, they've got it down to a science. They can get you through the lines. I didn't have to wait to check out very long. But, I mean, there are a lot of people. So, you know, navigating around the store can be a little bit of a challenge. But, you know, at least you can check out fast, which is nice. But you still got to eat in the car if you get food. Or outside and stand up, you know, whatever. So, keep that in mind. All right, if you've noticed in prior videos, I have eaten ICEEs before. I love ICEEs. I mean, love ICEEs. So, of course, you know, Buc-ee's has got their own flavors of ICEE. So I had to try them out and see how they differ from ordinary ICEEs that I've had before. It's probably not really different. You know, it's probably got a unique twist on what they already do or what other ICEE flavors there are. So I got blue raspberry. It's melted a little bit since, you know, we're eating a sandwich, but let's dig in. And the other bad thing is they were out of other sizes. So I probably would have gone for a large because, you know, I like ICEEs that much. They only had smalls left for cups. Tastes like your ordinary ICEE. It definitely has a blue raspberry feel or taste to it. You can't beat an ICEE for like dessert or on a hot day. Granted, it's not hot today. It's a rainy day right now. But it's pretty tasty. So you scream, I scream. We all scream for ICEE. Okay, that doesn't quite work the same way as ice cream, but that's all right. I'll make up my own little sayings. Good stuff. Don't quite have icy tongue yet, but you know, it'll probably be there by the end of the by the end of it. See, I told you I'd get a blue tongue by the end of the ICEE. I think it's time to continue our little food tour of the Buc-ee's items that we got in Richmond, Kentucky. obviously I'm not in the hotel room anymore, so we're back at Siwu somewhere HQ. So, you know, little time has passed since we were doing some of the other stuff. But like I said, we're here to continue what we had already started. And we're going to start off by checking out the Fudge Sampler before it starts getting bad. So either way, so basically we got the sampler of fudge, and it's got a lot of different flavors in it. Like I think it's 6 little blocks. And then, you know, what you actually saw in the video when I was recording earlier, it was they actually make all their fudge on site in the store. So this is some of that fudge that they just put in the sampler, effectively. All right, so when we look at this box, you can actually see the 6 cubes here. It looks like they gave us a little bit of variety. So it looks like we got like a white chocolate with walnut on top of it. We got obviously a normal chocolate with a walnut. Looks like another white chocolate with some caramel on top. Then you got your normal chocolate with some M&Ms on it. Probably your standard bar of fudge. And then it looks like, again, another like white chocolate with more caramel perhaps swirled in. We might find out what that's all about when we get into it a little bit more. But, you know, visually it looks, you know, like standard fudge. The most important thing is, how does it taste? So let's dig in. Let's start with the easiest stuff, and we'll just do the standard fudge. So let's do the basic stuff and get it out of the way. So it looks like it's got a little bit of a remnant of the adjacent fudge bars on it. But, you know, you can kind of look at it. You can see the insides. It's pretty thick, maybe about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or so. Actually, it might be like an inch thick. It's pretty thick. But either way, you know, it's got a nice consistency to it. So let's dive in. So it's definitely got a kind of gooey consistency. So the top part of it is a little bit, I don't know, more dense, whereas the bottom of it is a little bit more, I don't know, moist is probably a good word for it. You can kind of see the 2 different textures there. So you got the bottom and then the top. So they're obviously 2 different chocolates, it looks like. But, you know, it's definitely got like a milk chocolatey taste to it. It's obviously sweet because it's fudge, you know, but, you know, it's pretty good. We'll have no complaints from me. We're probably not going to eat all the fudge right now because I would be sick otherwise. I do like sweets, but I can only eat, you know, a small amount of sweets before it's like overwhelming. Then I'm just, you know, get an upset stomach. So, all right, so let's move on to the next one, which looks like it is a white chocolate, kind of like marbled in, and then it might have some other stuff in there. So you can kind of see the layers here. So looks pretty good. I'm usually not as big on white chocolate in general, but, you know, mixed in with caramel probably helps. I like caramel a lot. Wow, that is a lot of caramel. So it's got like a ton of caramel folded into the fudge. I mean, you can kind of see on the bottom, the whole thing is all caramel. You're looking in the layers, you can see the bottom is all caramel. Then you can see the layers or the marbling of the caramel with the white fudge. This is actually really, really good. You know, like I said, if you like caramel, this is definitely pretty tasty. I also tasted a little bit of a nut in there. Like, I don't know if it was just something that came in rogue from something else, but, you know, there was definitely like a little bit of a peanut. But I mean, the overwhelming taste is definitely the caramel. So, I mean, it doesn't have like an overly chocolatey taste, but it is really tasty. You know, I don't know. I feel like, you know, if you had some coffee, that would like really, really set off the fudge. I mean, I'm a huge coffee lover, so I mean, I could probably pair coffee with just about anything and I'd be pretty content. Just about. All right, moving on. So let's get into the fudge with the M&Ms on top. Well, they are, like I said, they're all stuck together a little bit. All right, so the M&M, you can kind of see, again, there's just M&Ms inside of the fudge. It's probably your standard fudge with just the M&Ms in there. But, all right, let's give it a go. So again, it's just like the standard fudge that we got. It's got the lower, but it's got a little bit of different version on the bottom, which just got a softer texture, a harder version of the chocolate on top, and then it's got M&Ms. So it's definitely got that milk chocolatey texture or flavor that you would expect with M&Ms. So, I mean, if you know what M&Ms taste like, these aren't peanut M&Ms or anything. These are standard like chocolate M&Ms with nothing else. It's just like that milk chocolate. It tastes exactly like it. So if you like M&Ms and you really like chocolate, that would be a good one. I like M&Ms, but usually I'm more of I like the peanut butter M&Ms, or I like the ones with the peanuts in there more than the standard M&Ms. So like I said, it can get a little too sweet for me. So it's pretty tasty though. I would definitely recommend, although it's not my favorite fudge that we've sampled so far. All right, moving on. Number 4. Let's get into that white chocolate with the caramel that we can see visually from the top. Okay, and I can kind of see as I'm pulling this out that there's a lot more to this. So, just visually looking at it, I mean, you can see that it's got white fudge the white fudge on top. Then it's got like a middle layer, which looks like it's got walnuts and caramel probably. And then and the bottom is just more white fudge. So, and then you can see the caramel drizzled on top of it. But this looks like it's probably going to be a pretty good winner. But here, look at these layers. So you can kind of see what it's all about. But this one's a little bit more fancy than the other ones, obviously. All right, let's give it a go. And yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. So that middle layer is all caramel with walnuts folded into it. And then you got the 2 layers of white fudge, sandwiching it in, and then the caramel running across the top. It's good. I think it's got more of a dynamic taste to it than perhaps some of the other ones. It's not like overwhelmingly sweet, so that's good to me. It is pretty tasty. I mean, the fudge is definitely not as strong as it was in the second one that we tried, though. But I mean, the caramel was not as strong as in the first one, not the fudge. But it's pretty tasty. All right, let's go on to number 5. So we're gonna go back to the chocolate, and this one's got walnuts in it. So this basically just looks just like the normal fudge that we had earlier, except it's got walnuts obviously put into it. So I expect this to taste just like the other ones, except with walnuts. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's just like the standard fudge with the walnuts. Again, it's got a super fudgy taste to it with the walnuts in it. So it's super, super sweet with chocolate. So if you're not like a chocoholic or anything like that, it might be a bit much. Like for me, it's almost borderline a bit much. Like I wouldn't want to, if you have one bite, it's good. If I were to try to eat the whole block, I'd probably feel like it's too much personally, But if you absolutely love chocolate, you might be able to eat the whole thing and think it's the greatest thing on the planet. All right, having to take some breaks to clean off my fingers because I got so much chocolate and fudge on there. So I'm having to split up the segment a little bit, but that's all right. All right, so we're on to the last one, and we're gonna find out what this final piece tastes like. It looks like it is just a white fudge, perhaps maybe I don't think it's peanut butter, but it's just got the walnuts in there. So if you're just looking at it, you can kind of see those walnuts in there. All right, let's give it a go. And that is exactly what it is. So it's just that white fudge with walnuts folded into it, or mostly on top. You see a little bit on the bottom, but it's mostly on the top. But you know, the good thing, you know I said earlier, I'm not generally as big on like white chocolate or white fudge. But in this particular case, you know, it's not as rich as the chocolate itself. So, I mean, it's definitely sweet still, but you know, it's not as heavy as having the chocolate fudges. But all in all, this is pretty good. So, I mean, this box from Buc-ee's costs like $15 roughly, you know, which I think is competitive if you're going to buy fudge at any fudge shop or anything like that, because usually they charge you by the pound. And I mean, I don't know, it's probably anywhere from like $12 to $16 per pound, you know, which is usually like a, you know, like a slab, generally speaking. You know, something definitely to try out when you're at Buc-ee's if you are a fudge fan, and they do make it in-house, so it's kind of neat. So, you know, I like checking out all the stuff that they actually make inside of the store, opposed to like the prepackaged stuff, although we got a ton of prepackaged stuff. So we can move on to some of the prepackaged stuff here in a little while. All right. As you can tell with the outfit change, it's another day. So let's continue on with this food tour. We've got a few other items left to try and, you know, see what it tastes like. All right, so first thing up is, let's do another flavor of Beaver Nuggets. So these are the sea salt caramel. And, you know, I've heard that these are supposed to be pretty good. So let's dig in and find out. So take a look at this bag. And you can kind of see that they look very similar to the other Beaver Nuggets, which you would expect. All right, let's try one of them and see what it tastes like. So like I said, it definitely resembles the other Beaver Nuggets. It looks pretty much identical. You know, it's kind of interesting. I'll be honest, I can't really taste that much of a distinct difference between these and the regular Beaver Nuggets. They taste very similar to me. Maybe it's just because of the first bite that I had. I don't know. Let's dig in a little bit more and find out if it tastes any different. I can't honestly discern that much of a difference in taste. They're very, very similar to me. Maybe it's because I don't have as good of a palate or whatever, but to me, they kind of taste like the other Beaver Nuggets. And very, very similar. But either way, they're still solid. They're good. They'll be gone in no time. And this bag is way smaller than the other bag too. So, you know, this is like enough for one sitting. Just eat it as a snack with, you know, barbecue sandwich or, you know, whatever you get. Moving on. We're going to go eat some more Beaver Nuggets. This is the final flavor that I bought. So this flavor is the cinnamon sweet. Surely these will taste a little bit different since it's a completely different flavor profile, and with cinnamon at least. You know, there's no like caramels that seem to be the same. So here we go. There we go. I mean, just looking at that bag, you can definitely see that there's a color difference from what I can tell. This has got a little bit of a darker brown color, which would make sense since it's cinnamon. But, you know, other than that, they're shaped the same. And all right, time to dive in. Okay, these definitely do not taste like the other two. And it's definitely got its own distinct taste. So, I mean, you can definitely taste a lot of that cinnamon in there. And it's got some sugars in there as well. And then let's take a little bit closer look at the actual nugget itself. So if you take a closer look there, again, you can see it's a little bit darker brown. You can maybe see some of the grains of the cinnamon that's on there. But I mean, if you like cinnamon, these are definitely solid. Man, honestly, I kind of prefer these over some of the other ones. I like the other ones as well. They're pretty tasty, but these are really, really good. But I also like cinnamon a lot, so it's not surprised that, you know, I would gravitate towards these. All right, moving on again. So the next one that is on the list is we've got more chips. So I got another flavor of chips. You know, we did the barbecue chips earlier when we were on the trip back from Pigeon Forge. And just like you would expect with your chips, you know, the bag is like, you know, a quarter to halfway full of the entire bag. The rest of it's all air. But, you know, they look like normal chips. They look just like any other sour cream and onion chips to me. Pretty basic. But I mean, honestly, I mean, how many different types of chips can you have? All of them are kind of the same. These are your standard chips. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what the brand is. They're all similar with slightly different seasonings to me. So, all right, let's dive in. The first one actually tastes like a basic potato chip, like it has no seasoning on it at all. Let's see if I can do a deeper dive. So if we actually look at this chip, I mean, yeah, I don't see hardly any seasoning, honestly. If you look on the other side, you can see a little bit of the sour cream, whatever, the chives, I should say, the little specks on there. But it's not like heavily seasoned. It's really, really light and sparse. So again, you know, the texture of the chips is about what you'd expect. Got a nice crunch to them. I mean, the seasonings on here, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, if you're going to take like sour cream and chives, like if I were going to compare them to like, I don't know, Lay's, they're pretty, you know, solid brand, well known from Frito-Lay. You know, those Frito-Lay ones, it's got that strong like chive taste. It's got like, you know, kind of like a zing to it. And you can taste that flavoring. These, I don't really taste a lot of the flavor. I just taste mostly like the salt and the chips. So, I don't know. For me, you know, the barbecue chips were pretty good. I thought those were about on par with most of the other barbecue chips that I've had. The sour cream and chive, you know, honestly, I would say, you know, maybe skip those. Go for a different flavor unless you're like really dead set on having sour cream and chives. But, you know, or is it? Or sour cream and onion, I'm sorry. Same difference though. I don't even really taste an onion taste on here, so that's a miss for me. I would pick something else, personally. All right, moving on again. So our next product that we've got is, all right, it is beef jerky. I've actually been looking forward to this for a while, and I've heard so much about their beef jerky, and I happen to like beef jerky quite a bit, so, you know, finally get to try them. And this is the hot and spicy, so I like it spicy. So we'll see how truly spicy it is, or if I just think it's mild. All right, let's dig into this bad boy. So there you go. There is the beef jerky, or at least a visual of it. So there's not a ton of beef jerky in here, but what you would expect that. So it's about $10 for this little bag here. You know, looking back, I would have gotten the non-pre-packaged beef jerky, instead got the stuff out of the cabinets or displays. It probably would have been a little bit better, but this is a lot quicker for like grab and go type stuff. All right, so let's grab one of these and take a closer look. So you can actually look at this. Oh, here we go. You see, you know, pretty basic strips. You know, it's got a little bit of marbling in there. All right, taste test, that's the important part. So what does it taste like? You can tell that that the beef is definitely got a little, it's been sitting in the marinade. It does have a little bit of heat to it. It's real slow, so it builds up on the back of your tongue, a little bit on the top of the roof of your mouth, but I mean, it's not super spicy. I would consider this more on the pretty mild range, but if you're averse to spice and stuff like that, and you don't like spicy stuff or hot stuff, you know, you might think it's a little peppery, because that's probably what it tastes most like, is kind of like a peppery spice. Let's see what it actually has for the ingredients. So beef, water, brown sugar, salt, soy sauce powder, that's interesting, and sodium nitrate, or nitrite. It's got a nice chew to it. It's decent. You know, I think that, like I said, if I had actually got it out of the display cabinet, it'd probably be a little bit better. This is the prepackaged stuff, you know. It's alright though. Next time, maybe we'll get the other stuff out of the display cabinet though. Alright, we're down to the last two of the products. So these would be more in the, what I consider dessert type things. Or snack foods, I guess. I guess everything is technically a snack food that we've been eating, at least in this last session. But alright, so we got Nutty Bites. So these look like they're salted caramel, cashew, almond, little, looks like little candies. So let's dig in and see what that's all about. So just looking in here, you can kind of see they look like almost like granola bites or something. That's what they look like to me. So it's got a, you know, a bit of the like a nutty texture. You can see some almonds in there and stuff like that. So, So these are a little bit smaller than I actually thought. They're really not that big. But you can kind of get a visual on there. Get the focus, there we go. So you can see the almonds that are in there. It looks like it's also got peanuts. You can see some sugars and stuff like that on there. Oh yeah, these are good. I like these a lot. You can kind of tell that there's some granola in there too, but you know, they're not too hard. You know, sometimes if you get caramel, especially when it's been sitting out, you know, it can get a little hard, almost like in peanut brittle or something like that. This isn't like there. But to be honest, I don't really taste a lot of caramel either. You know, the predominant taste is really the nuts. It's just got like the littlest hint of the caramel, but it's really faint. So, you know, the almonds and everything else is really what you feel like. It's really what you taste. These are pretty solid though. I mean, I like these a lot. These might be one of my favorite things we've had so far. You know, they got a nice crunch to them. I mean, these would be addicting. Next time I go to Buc-ee's, I'm definitely gonna have to get some of these, for sure. All right, we're down to the last thing the last thing that I actually purchased from the Buc-ee's. And interesting enough, since I said peanut brittle, this I think is probably like peanut brittle, only it's pink. So I showed this to you inside of the hotel room, but you really couldn't see it because of the lighting in the hotel. So here you should be able to get a more accurate color of what it actually looks like. So you can actually see, like, it's got big old peanuts on there throughout, and then it's got like a brittle thing, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like it's pretty hard. So we're gonna see. Is it like peanut butter brittle or is it like something else? Who knows? So they got this thing shrink wrapped, obviously. So this will probably be interesting to try to get out of here. Should have probably brought in over a knife or something. Sharp things always help open up plastic, right? Just remember, pointing end away, you don't want to cut yourself. It's easier to go in from the top. Let's poke a hole in it. There we go. All right. Here we go. Yeah, you can really tell as this opens up, like on the edges, it's got more of a pink coloring. In the middle, it's more white, but it's still pink. So, interesting. I've never seen anything quite look like this. It really does look like pink peanut brittle. Hopefully it's not super hard. Oh, okay. It definitely doesn't taste like peanut brittle. It's kind of sweet, but it's definitely got the consistency of peanut brittle. But this is actually a little bit harder than most peanut brittle that I've had. So I can see somebody breaking off some teeth on this, honestly. But you know, you take a closer look, you can see the peanuts that are in there. It's got quite a few peanuts in there. But, yeah, it's peculiar. I don't know, with the pink coloring, you'd almost think it was like, maybe it had like a strawberry flavoring or something to the whatever this is. But I don't really taste any strawberry or anything like that either. Let's see what it has on the label. It says it's labeled as a peanut patty. So, I mean, you know, its main ingredients are sugar, peanuts, high fructose corn syrup, butter, salt, vanilla flavoring, red dye. Yeah, I'm not getting any kind of peanut butter taste, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. This is probably another miss for me. If you see this up at the counter, I don't know that I would get it again. Actually, I know I would not get this again. You know, you may feel differently than I do. So, you know, it's cheap. It's worth giving it a try if you're into like peanut brittle and stuff like this. But, you know, I don't know. It's kind of a miss for me. So, all right, so that's it. That's going to wrap up our Buc-ee's video. So hopefully you enjoyed taking a little peek at that Richmond Buc-ee's and some of the food offerings that they have. You know, so hopefully I've showed you some stuff that you have maybe not seen before. And at least my opinion on how some of the food tastes. You know, Buc-ee's is a pretty cool place. It's definitely a great place to stop by on the way traveling. You know, especially if you need to get something quick to grab and go. Perfect for that. You forgot something at home, you go pick it up there too. So, you know, either way, I invite you guys to subscribe if you enjoyed this content or you want to see more things that I get into, like more food. Maybe I'll show you different Buc-ee's. I'll show you some different events. Or maybe I'll show you some different cool places around the world eventually that I'll get to. Well, until next time, I'll see you somewhere. You have a good one. Thanks. Bye.